Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Tehillim Treasures, where we go through the entirety of Sefer Tehillim from the beginning till the very end, the timeless words of David HaMelech giving Chazaq to everyone in Klal Yisrael. This episode is sponsored by Chazaq, who provides after-school programming and Sunday programming for over 15 different locations throughout the New York area. And they are helping children go to yeshiva. They have a special division called Public Schools to Yeshiva, PSTY program that has been very, very successful in transforming the lives of countless Yiddish kinderlich. If you know anyone that is in need, please let us know. You can join helping the over 1,200 children who have benefited from this program. The number is 718-285-9132 or psty@chazaq.org. This evening's episode is sponsored by chickensforshabbos.com, where chickensforshabbos.com is helping many families of grushas, agunas, and melamdim who cannot afford basic needs. Try to imagine for a moment not having the necessary funds to be able to pay for your basic needs. Please help them at chickensforshabbos.com. Your dollar will go a long, long way. Tonight we will be doing the kapitlach of 61 and 62, Samach Aleph and Samach Beis, as we continue to march through David HaMelech's timeless treasures. Lamatseach al neginas leDavid, Kapitel Samach Aleph begins. And the Radak writes that the 61st Kapitel of Tehillim was composed by David HaMelech when he was running away from Shaul HaMelech. And if you notice, David HaMelech runs away his entire life. He's running from Shaul, he's running from Avshalom, he's running from his enemies, one after another. It's David HaMelech's plight, and it's through those moments when he's being pursued that David HaMelech composes these most beautiful compositions. And David HaMelech writes as follows: May I take refuge in the shelter of your wings. David HaMelech knows that the only way for a person to survive during his trials and tribulations is only when he's able to take refuge in the wings of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. There's a beautiful story that is told about Yosef Hatzair. Who was Yosef Hatzair? And I believe the story was told by Rav Matisyahu Salomon some 17 years ago at the Siyum HaShas. And he told over the following: Yosef Hatzair was a person we don't know much about, and we just know that he signed the opening of a Gemara. A Gemara, as it would be, of Meseches Nazir. And this is what Yosef Hatzair wrote in the beginning of Meseches Nazir, and he dates it in the year 1943. He writes as follows: I am eternally grateful to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that I have been privileged to complete Meseches Nazir for the second time. But Avakesh slicha mi boirei olamim, I ask forgiveness from the master of the world. What did Yosef Hatzair ask forgiveness from Hashem for? As he celebrated the siyum of Meseches Nazir, perhaps munching on a cracker in some place of hiddenness, in the wings of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, as there are bombs dropping all over the place. What did Yosef Hatzair ask Mechila from HaKadosh Baruch Hu for? He asked him because Sheloi Lamadti Mesechet Zu Be'iyun K'mo Yishar Mesechtes. I was not zoiche, I was not able, because of my circumstances, to learn this Mesechta Be'iyun, in depth, as I did other Mesechtas. Yosef Hatzair understands that we always must find ourselves in the protective embrace of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And a person can be really completely alone and the world is at war. Nevertheless, if he embraces HaKadosh Baruch Hu, if he holds on to the wings of the Shechina Kaviyachol, then no matter where we are, we can learn Torah, we can embrace HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we can have the faith necessary in order to be able to overcome any persecution and any suffering that faces the Jewish people. It is through that message that David HaMelech composes this magnificent kapitel of Tehillim. And we move on to Mizmor Samach Beis, the 62nd kapitel of Tehillim. Lanatzeach al Yedusun Mizmor LeDavid. David HaMelech's bitachon guides him every step of the way. In the last kapitel, he finds himself in the wings of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, hiding like a little child would in his mother's apron. So too David HaMelech finds himself, and he writes as follows: Bitchu voi v'chol eis. I trust in you at every moment, Hashem. Amshivchu lefonov levavchem Elokim machaseh lanu sela. Trust in Hashem at every moment. Pour out your hearts before Him, because Hashem is again a machaseh, a similar sentiment to the previous kapitel. And when David HaMelech understands, as long as HaKadosh Baruch Hu is our machaseh, He is our protection, then we can survive anything. A man once came to Rabbi Yechiel Spero with a complaint, and he says, I'm a big Baal Bitachon, but I haven't won the lottery. And Rabbi Yechiel says, if you haven't won the lottery, then you're not a real Baal Bitachon. He says, I promise you, I'm a real Baal Bitachon. And he says, it must be that you're not, because if you were a real Baal Bitachon, you would win the lottery. Well, the man went out, and he bought a lottery ticket. And the day of the lottery drew near, and Rabbi Yisrael sent someone to the man, and he offered to pay him 50% of the possible winnings. He asked him, would you sell the ticket? The man refused the offer. I'm a Baal Bitachon. So Rabbi Yisrael's representative raised the offer, 60%, 70%. No, I'm a Baal Bitachon. He says, what about 90%? The fellow said, 90%? I'll grab it. And he took the money. And Rabbi Yisrael told him, you're not a Baal Bitachon. Because why would you give away the extra 10%? If you really believe that you're going to win, you would never give it away. David HaMelech understands that if he is going to survive, if he is going to be able to save himself from the persecution of all of his enemies, if he's going to be able to survive being chased time and time again, then he has to be a complete Baal Bitachon. You know, we're not chased so much by enemies. Baruch Hashem, we live in a free country. We live in America. And even though, yes, it's a volatile time, but still, relatively speaking, we're living in good times. A person has to know that when you're being chased, whether it's in times of David HaMelech or the times of Nebuch, our ancestors who were chased and sometimes persecuted and even murdered, or we're living in times that are good times, but there are demons within that chase us. Sometimes there are thoughts, there's mental anguish that chases us. A person has to know to have full bitachon. If you have full bitachon, then there's nothing to worry about. And if we follow the lead of David HaMelech, then we'll be able to survive anything that comes our way. Until next time, sei gesund.